He's kind of stuck. SEAL team commander, what's up, Ron? But you know, something that I really want to bring up, more importantly, family friend for like over 40 years. I love you, Ron. Bringing us home.
I love you, Dave. Thank you for the kind words. As always, the Montgomerys always bring us joy. Nothing like spending a Friday night at the Montgomery's house back almost 40 years ago and doing a little carb loading before the Red Bank Regional game. I'd like to double down on welcoming everyone again to the third annual Greg Hugh Montgomery Jr. event. What a wonderful event it's going to be. It's a little bit unorthodox right now, but today I'm going to start with the end in mind. I want to start by saying thank you. Thanks for saving this important date on your calendar. Thanks for making this date a priority. Thanks for making the trip to Naples. And thank you for without your support, without your friendship, and really without you, the Greg Montgomery Jr. Event Foundation would not exist. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, if you had a helping hand in putting together this year's event, golfers clap. Little practice for tomorrow. Right? Some people think Stevie and Greg got all the brawn, and we know for a fact that Margot got all the beauty. But I'm here to tell you, Margot got more than her fair share of strength, because we all know who does the heavy lifting for this event. Margot, you are a rock star. I would also like to add a very special welcome to our distinguished guests, which have been mentioned throughout this evening. It's both an honor and a privilege for me to be here today. I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience, which says a lot about Greg, his friends, his teammates, the Montgomery family, and this noble cause. Many of you, especially those that don't know me, might be wondering why on earth is a Navy SEAL commander a captain? It was a little crazy.
Amen to that.
About mental health. Don't worry, you're not alone. Believe me. Sometimes I think that exact same thing. But on a serious note, the Montgomerys asked me to, and I'm not one to let down friends and teammates. I stand before you today to talk about a topic that is often met with silence. One that is becoming increasingly more important: mental health awareness, education, and suicide prevention. The world is a much different, it's a much different place from when all of us grew up. We all have many computers in our hands, an endless info cycle. The world seems to be in chaos every single day, whether it's a natural disaster, a school shooting as mentioned, or some political upheaval. A lot of unhealthy stimulation right there. Yet there's still a lack of mental health awareness, education that prepares us for today's constant bombardment of chaos. Leading experts in the mental health community have said that this lack has led to an epidemic of chronic stress, severe loneliness, insomnia, rising suicides, which we have witnessed, anxiety, and depression. It is estimated one person commits suicide every 11 minutes in the United States. That's 132 people a day, almost 47,000 people a year. We must start talking about this issue. We must remove the stigma that surrounds seeking mental health. By the way, I love this foundation's little motto or theme: stick it to stigma. This past December, I lost a dear friend to suicide. Bobby Ramirez, the SEAL Team 1 commander. I've known Bobby for several years. He was an up-and-comer on the fast track who had seen combat many times and was highly decorated. Bobby was a happy-go-lucky guy. I remember walking outside when I heard the horrific news and shouting at the top of my lungs. Why? Why didn't he key the handset or pick up the phone? Why didn't he ask for help? Why suicide? Why a permanent solution to a temporary problem? I was so sad, yet I was so angry. In the grief-filled days following Bobby's loss, a prominent senior enlisted leader sent the message to a community that completely resonated with me. It actually made the hair on the back of my neck stand at attention. So let me paraphrase that message, and I'll add a little context to it. In the military, and specifically the SEAL teams, the acronym IRF, Immediate Reaction Force, is universally understood by operators involved in combat. When one of our elements finds itself in a critical position, surrounded, pinned down by enemy fire, unable to move, taking casualties, they know they have an option. IRF, Immediate Reaction Force. By simply keying up the handset on the radio, they can request to launch the IRF, and that then initiates that force in motion. It is not last resort, and I say that because IRF is built into the mission and discussed in the first portions of mission planning. Some operations include such a high level of risk to force or risk to mission that unless there is an IRF, the mission is not approved. In short, IRF is a response. It is required. It is practiced. It is rehearsed. It's critical to the operation and mission success. Just like special teams are in football. For an operator on any operation, IRF represents two realities. First, knowing that you have an IRF immediately raises the personal confidence for mission success, especially if the IRF is organic and composed of your fellow teammates. And second, having an IRF instantly commits every team member on that mission to making the call when and if it is needed. Although it took me a couple years to understand it, there's something far more extraordinary about IRF. And that is having the honor and the privilege to serve on an IRF. No doubt, during the mission planning process, each operator wants to see their name on the primary assault force list. I know I did. In my earlier years, I wanted to be on point, so I could be one of the first operators through the door. Like most SEALs, I wanted to engage the enemy. I wanted to destroy the enemy. I wanted to be a key part of the assault or the rescue. And during the planning process, when instead I saw my name written into the IRF force list, I recall feeling let down, like I had been benched, like I was not first string or varsity. As I look back on those early years, I can't believe how naive I was. I now view the IRF completely different. The IRF is a mission that comes with more volatility, more uncertainty, more complexity. Bottom line, it's far more complicated and daring than the original mission itself. The IRF mission is a mission about saving a life, saving your teammates, your family, our loved ones. It's a mission without question. It's a mission that one cuts through any obstacles in the way and will succeed at all costs. For anyone who has had to make the call for IRF, you know that there's absolutely nothing lost. Nothing lost in doing so. All you have to remember, quite simply, is that the call is an expected portion of the mission. And the only response is rather that. We're on the way. Here we come. We all live in challenging times in a very uncertain world. Whether you know it or not, each and every one of us in this room is currently assigned to the mission of life. And part of that mission must be your own IRF. My ask to you all is that you create your own IRF. Please take a moment, have a conversation, discuss your plan for IRF. Find a person with whom you're closest, at work, at home, and look them in the eye and say, I'm your IRF. Ensure that they know, no matter what the circumstances are, day or night, night or day, you're on your way. Obligate yourself to their protection, their overwatch, their safety, and provide them the love they need when they make the call. And then ask them to be yours. Assign them as your IRF. Obligate yourself to key the handset if needed and make the call when and if you need it. And most of all, and I mean this wholeheartedly too many times, and most of all, don't deny your friends and loved ones the honor and privilege of supporting you in your time of need. So what does it all mean? It means that all of us in this room have the capacity required to reduce suicide and save a life. It means with your support, this foundation can continue to positively impact lives, increase mental health awareness and education, and provide those that need them the tools. It means that this foundation can provide unique support to combat today's constant bombardment of complex problems. It means we can further research to drive science to solutions, and much, much more. For me, it means this foundation is thriving and succeeding. Although Greg's loss was tragic, and a parent should never have to bury their child, his loss led to a huge outpouring of love and support. Greg is now truly part of something special. A noble cause, a cause that is greater than himself. And it's my belief that Greg's legacy will be in the thousands of lives he has impacted and saved through increased efforts in mental health. Now that is not only positive, it's powerful. So ante up, folks. We got plenty of lives to save. And now I will finish where I started. thank you. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you for your stellar support. God bless you all, and God bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your glasses are fully charged.
Get your glass.
Stand by for our toast.